Hi everyone. I'm posting this on for a video so that people have a reference. This is a memo from the Department of Justice from March 26, 2018 regarding NXIVM. It details clearly why Keith Raniere and NXIVM are on trial. The complaint here very clearly: defendant is charged with sex trafficking conspiracy to commit forced labor. And it goes into details that you may have heard of, where he had women run into trees and drink from puddles. See if I can find the exact spot here. It talks about the DOS slaves are seriously sleep deprived and participating in readiness drills, which required them to respond to their master at any time, day or night. They are branded with a cauterizing pen with the symbol of his initials. It talks about NXIVM's a pyramid scheme. Keith Raniere called himself Vanguard, claimed to be the smartest and most ethical man. Okay, he frequently cited having earned 3 degrees from Rensselaer Polytechnic Institute, but a review of his transcript shows that he graduated with a 2.26 GPA, having failed or barely passed many of the upper-level math and science classes he bragged about taking. This is the man that claims to be the smartest man in the world. He has a long history of abusing women and girls. According to confidential sources, the defendant had repeated sexual encounters with multiple teenage girls in the mid to late 1980s and early 1990s. In one instance, the defendant met a 15-year-old girl while he was in his 20s and had repeated sexual contact with her. In another instance, the defendant met a 12-year-old girl whose mother worked for the defendant and began tutoring her. Shortly thereafter, the defendant began having regular sexual intercourse with her, including at his home where he lived with multiple adult sexual partners. One of these partners hired the girl to walk her dog, giving the defendant daily access to the girl. The defendant told one of his DOS slaves that he had sex with that he believed the age of consent was too rigid. Then it goes on to say that he would punish NXIVM members who had committed so-called, quote, ethical breaches. In one instance, the defendant ordered the long-term confinement of a NXIVM member who was approximately in her early 20s to heal a, quote, ethical breach because she had developed romantic feelings for someone other than him. During her approximately 18-month confinement, with limited exceptions, the girl had extremely limited contact with her family or other members of the community, and she received limited medical attention. The period of her confinement was repeatedly extended for other supposed ethical breaches, including in one instance because she cut her hair. The woman felt she could not leave because of the repercussions of her family, and also because she was illegally in the United States and the defendant and other members of NXIVM had helped her illegally enter the United States. The defendant, Keith Raniere, had also physically assaulted at least 2 intimate partners in 2012 under the guise of mentorship. He encouraged a woman to run headfirst into a tree and to drink from a puddle. He also co-founded a movement called Society of Protectors, which in part relied on humiliating women in order to eradicate weaknesses the defendant taught were common in women. For example, women attending the classes were forced to wear fake cow udders over their breasts while people called them derogatory names. Moreover, at least one DOS master who was directly under the defendant told her slaves, and this is probably Allison Mack, told her slaves that her master would put her in a cage to punish her. The defendant also posed disturbing hypotheticals as part of NXIVM curriculum, challenging whether incest and rape are actually wrong. He told one DOS slave that incest is not wrong if the victim is sexually aroused from the experience, and he questioned whether gang rape was bad if the person raped had an orgasm. So yeah, so here you have it all right here from the Department of Justice. I will put a link below if you can read the entire memo. Thanks for listening. Bye.